The LA Chargers choking against the Jacksonville Jaguars is probably the funniest thing and the saddest thing I've seen all season. The Chargers blew a 27-point lead against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who barely made the playoffs. Throughout the second half, and when they had that big 27-point lead, they started throwing the ball. They weren't running it, they were throwing it for no reason. I don't understand why. They weren't giving it to Austin Eckler. They gave him 12 carries when he's your best player since Mike Williams is out, which was stupid from the Chargers, or specifically Brandon Staley, to put him in for no reason. I don't understand why they put him in when there was no point. What, you're going to get a higher seed? You're going to get a home game? No. Then why put him in the game? Stupidity. So they might have to fire Brandon Staley. He's not a good coach. Last year, he didn't make it to the playoffs due to ineptitude and just going for it on fourth down no matter what, even though they have a good enough team to not go on fourth down. You don't need to. It's not a necessity here and there, but you just punt it away, fam. Just punt it away or take a field goal. Don't take fourth down. Don't go on it for fourth downs for no reason. And this year, Joe Lombardi is like one of the worst offensive coordinators, pretty much diminishing Justin Herbert's value as a quarterback. Instead of making him throwing it deep, he's making him throwing it checkdowns. The San Diego checkdown, or the Los Angeles checkdowns, my bad, not San Diego. But this team is bad. Their defense just started performing good against bad teams. Brandon Staley is not a good defensive coach, which is why he was hired. He was the defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams. And he's not like an offensive genius. I don't know who is on that team. No one is. Joe Lombardi's not an offensive genius. Justin Herbert, who's a generational quarterback. Austin Eckler, who's a good dual running back who can catch and run. Mike Williams, who's an amazing receiver who could just catch it over anyone. He's 6'5", who can just moss anyone he can see. And Keenan Allen, who's a great wide receiver, great route runner. And I don't know why this offense is just average. They just make it so vanilla by just running it and throwing checkdowns instead of unlocking their players' true potential. It's just dumb. Understand that the defense was injured, but that has no excuse. You have 20. Their defense was healthy this game, but their defense allowed 31 points. 31. 24 in the second half and 7 at the last minute. I don't really care about that. Whatever. If they're going to get last minute points, it doesn't really affect anything. I don't know how the Jaguars flipped the switch, but this just shows how better of a coach Doug Peterson is to Brandon Staley. I'm not saying Doug Peterson's a genius or he's some like all-time great coach or he's even like a great coach. He's a good coach, but the fact he outcoached Brandon Staley, just outcoached him in the second half. In the first half, I wouldn't even give credit to Brandon Staley. It was just that they were turning the ball over a lot. Poor performance from Jacksonville as a whole. Nothing was going their way. They were really performing bad. I can't say Jacksonville's defense was bad. They couldn't do anything. Jacksonville just kept turning the ball over and gave Chargers great and prime field position to score touchdowns. And Jacksonville, specifically Trevor Lawrence, when Trevor Lawrence stopped throwing interceptions, the team couldn't do anything offensively because it's so vanilla. It's like so bad. Their offense is really bad. I'm just saying, not the offense players. Their coaching is really bad. Awful, to be exact. And congrats to Trevor Lawrence for winning his first playoff game. People considered him a bust his first year, which is pretty insane. How in 1 year can you expect some player, any player, or a quarterback specifically, to work under Urban Meyer? It's just outrageous. Urban Meyer's a hack, and thank God he's gone. And Doug Peterson, who's a pretty qualified coach, got that team from, 3-13 to 9-8, and to a playoff spot. Not saying 9-8 is some crazy record. Ooh, it's pretty above. That's like average. But the fact this team is in the playoffs and they beat the Los Angeles Chargers, I keep calling them San Diego. They should go back to. They should just be non-existent team. This team's a joke. But they beat the Chargers from a comeback? Really? I gotta give them credit for that. And the whole team as a whole, defense stepped up. Offense stepped up. Travis Etienne, who's having a great season, just playing excellent, especially on that last play before they set him up for the go-ahead field goal. Give Travis Etienne credit. People were saying, why the Jaguars drafting a running back when they have James Robinson? Well, we haven't heard about James Robinson as of lately due to injury and him not performing as well. And Travis Etienne, who was injured last year, is playing great this year, having 1,000 yards. So, kudos to him. He's playing great. Christian Kirk, who people said, oh, you got all that money for what? Well, now he's performing pretty great. And then next year, they're going to get Calvin Ridley. Is it a gamble? Most definitely it's a gamble to have Calvin Ridley since he hasn't played for a full year. But it's not like he was injured or anything. He just hasn't played. So he might be a bit rusty, but it's a good addition. This whole team is just going to be better next year. And they'll improve upon it. Will they beat the Chiefs? No. No, they won't. Okay, let's stop playing here. So they won't beat the Chiefs. They'll probably get massacred, respectfully. But, again, congrats. Did I think they would beat the Chargers? No, but they did. But this is a whole different team. Better coaching. Better players. Which is kind of funny because Doug Pearson coached the Eagles and so did Andy Reid. So there's 3 Eagles coaches, former and current, who are in the playoffs. That's kind of funny if you think about it. But anyway, Chargers choked. They should be exterminated as a franchise, and goodbye.